the deep blue waters of Lake Atitlan in western Guatemala. If the lake could speak, it would tell a tale of times long past, a poem about a people who have known great pain and deep love. This is where our story begins, a love story about a people and a faith. Father McSherry is no visitor here. This church at Cerro de Hierro is part of his parish, a church supported by Oklahoma Catholics just like the ones in Oklahoma City or Woodward or Shawnee, just a little removed from the mainstream. The Zutuwil are a gentle people, descendants of the ancient Mayans, but Catholics for more than 4 centuries. Father McSherry follows a long line of missionaries sent to the Zutuwil. Spanish monks were first in the 1500s. In 1871, practically all of the missionaries were driven out of the country. The Zutuwil were without a pastor for nearly a century. In 1964, the first Oklahoma priest arrived in Santiago Atitlan. Here, the past and the present keep an uneasy peace. On the surface, little has changed. Clothes are washed by hand and pounded on rocks. Ancient ways for an ancient people. But time does not stand still, not even here. The good and the bad of the 20th century are close on the heels of the people of Santiago Atitlan. The Zutuwil make their living from the soil, sweat and muscle. The only farm machinery is a hoe. It's a poor living, too many years on too little land to grow just enough corn to live on. The culture is structured. The men grow the corn, the women make the corn into tortillas. This is the food staple. Most of the villagers' lives are spent on the basics, shelter and, most importantly, food. There is little variety in the diet, corn, tortillas, and beans. The object is to fill the belly and survive. Sometimes that isn't enough. For generations, Zutuwil children have lived on the brink of starvation. Thousands have died of malnutrition. A nutrition center in the mission has been here since the 1960s to provide children with the means of staying alive. The lady's name is Aria Merida, and she has run the center for 2 decades. The song is about the joy of eating, and this is one of the happiest places in the village. Here, mothers are taught the importance of nutrition, and children are fed. Without the nutrition center, many would not make it. They have a simple goal here: keep kids alive. Santiago Atitlan is a village, but it's not as tiny as you might think. Over 30,000 people live here. Generations of families have walked the cobblestone streets. The village existed right here long before the conquest of the Zutuwil by Pedro de Alvarado. For more than 400 years, its culture has centered around the Catholic Church.